certainly on display here in San Diego today. It's going to be a sizzler out there for the guys. And let's have a look at a very different Nationals lineup today. Brought to you by Southwest.com. Willie Harris leading off, 3 for 9 against Kevin Correia, the San Diego starter. But Orr's in there, Maxwell, Padilla. It's an interesting bunch, and let's see if they can generate some offense. First pitch of the ball game, and Willie Harris pops it up off to the left hand out of play. We're underway right on time at 3:35 Eastern. Clear skies, 83. Probably feels like 90 or low 90s out there. And just a hint of a breeze moving the flags around a bit here in downtown San Diego. Willie Harris 0 for 4 with a walk in the series. And here's Rob Dibble on Kevin Correia. 28th start, Rob, and he's been a nice pickup for them from the Giants.
Well, he was a non-roster invitee to spring training and has been amazing all season long. Goes deep into ball games, so he will change speeds and change locations all day.
Hard-breaking ball, just whistling beyond the back kneecap of Willie Harris, hitting just .222, but over his last 11 ball games, Willie has elevated that on-base percentage. Over that time, .385, so getting on base regularly. That's still smarting from the loss of Nyjer Morgan 1 week ago tomorrow. Chris Tiller has the plate, Chad Fairchild, Mike Winters the crew chief, and Wally Bell on the bases today. Small gathering. The Padres are over 500 at home this year. They're now 35 and 34 after winning the first 2 games of the series. They have 58 wins, the Nats have 46. Washington trying to break a 5-game losing streak. Harris bounces it hard. Backhand. Gonzalez knocks it down. Correia is where he should be for the first down.
PNC Bank scouting report on Kevin. Thanks for the invitation to spring training. Can't make the team if they don't invite you. He got invited, made the team. This is his 28th start now for the San Diego Padres. I love you, man. Every time this kid starts, it's a possibility for a win. 15 and 12 in Correia's 27 starts, and 17 of his 27 starts, 6 innings or better.
First pitch fastball inside corner to Alberto Gonzalez, who's 1 for 7 in this series. And a pop fly to right. That's not where the Nats want him hitting the ball. That'll be easy for Venable. 2 quick outs. Adam Dunn coming up, who's batting 3rd today with Zimmerman 4th. The Padres are 6th in the league in defense. Their shortstop Everth Cabrera has made 9 errors this year, but nobody on the field besides him has made more than 6. Padres a low scoring team. Worst offense in baseball statistically, so they have to play good defense, and they've certainly done that against our ball club. Dunn 0 for 7, 3 strikeouts and a walk in the first 2 games. He goes up swinging. It's going to stay fair, and that's a base hit.
Gotta love it.
And in tomorrow's box score,
it's a line drive.
No, I was going to say it'll still be a dribbler.
Oh no, that'll be a line drive in the box score tomorrow. But for him, maybe that'll get Adam back on track.
Looked like it was going foul. It had some reverse spin on it. See, he thought it was a foul ball.
Hit it off the end of the bat, what they call a Q shot. It hits the line, but it had so much top spin, curves to the inside, gets base hit out of it.
See, Jim Riggleman's a genius. He wanted Zimmerman protecting Dunn in the lineup today. That's what he said this morning about flip-flopping them. He just didn't know Adam was going to hit one on the ground by the 3rd base bag first time up. Fastball is up to Ryan, who's 2 for 8 in the series with a pair of doubles. By the way, the Nats have been busy on the waiver wire this afternoon. They just picked up left-hander Victor Garate off waivers from the Dodgers. And that might be more than just a name you haven't heard of. He had a 2.04 ERA and a 199 batting average against at Double-A for the Dodgers in the Southern League. Nats on the lookout for pitching wherever they can find it. And Mike Rizzo, sitting in the booth right next to us, has been a busy man today. And a 1-1 to Zimmerman. Fastball up and in, jammed it. By the way, their AA is in Chattanooga, the Dodgers.
Are they still the Chattanooga Lookouts?
I think they are. And that's Rick Honeycutt's neighborhood, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lookout Mountain right near town there. 1-2 to Adam, with Adam Dunn on first, to Ryan Zimmerman. 9th in the league with 151 hits. And how about 152? Hits that ball extremely hard to right center. Dunn will go to third. Zimmerman pulls in with a base hit. And the Nats have runners at the corners with 2 outs for Pete Orr. And Rob, we all know this. When Ryan's going well, he hits the ball extremely hard to that part of the field.
Well, he was working on that in batting practice today. I was standing there with Bob Boone, and we were talking about that, being able to cover the outside portion of the plate with authority, drive the ball back towards the center field gap and the right center and left center. That's where you should always be trying to hit line drives. So, like you said, when he's going well, he's hitting into that part of the ballpark.
Here's Pete Orr. Pete finally had an offer yesterday, but he only had 2 at-bats. So with the Nationals, he's still 8 for 17 in 5 games. He's driven in a couple of runs, 2 for 6 in this series.
Backdoor breaking ball by Correia.
Kevin Correia, 29 years of age, just had a birthday at the end of August. Big kid, 6'3", 200. He's a San Diego native out of Grossmont High School and then played at Grossmont College. Made a detour to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. They're in the Big West. He was all conference back in 02, and he broke in with the Giants 1 year later. 3-8, 25 games, 19 starts with San Francisco last year, and then the Padres picked him up. Pretty close. He just missed outside, 2-2.
You just need a chance. You need to open some eyes, and that's why an invitation to camp, whether you're a 40-man roster guy or a guy like Correia, and he opened enough eyes to get, and this is his 28th start of the season. He tries another backdoor breaking ball, just missing.
2-2, and Pete Orr pulls it. Glad it's foul, and the count remains 2-2. One final already in baseball today. Reds at home beat the Pirates 5-3. Cincinnati's won 4 straight. Pirates have lost 7 in a row. And in a big game at Minnesota, the White Sox just scored 4 in the 9th to take a 4-2 lead against the streaking Twins. They have just zoomed right by the Sox in the AL Central. 2-2 to Orr. In that division, Minnesota winners of 3 straight, 3.5 back of the Tigers. And the White Sox moving away some of their players, have lost 5 in a row. They're 7 games out. Cubs in Houston playing a day game today. 2-0 at Wrigley. Cubbies bottom 6. 2-2 to Pete Orr again. Target away. He's having a quality at bat here, making Correia work long to end this first inning. He got the first 2 batters. Game notes: Ryan Zimmerman driving the ball lately with all those extra base hits. Josh Bard now 3 homers in 15 games. Doesn't seem like a lot, but look what it was before that. 10 of his 32 career homers in this ballpark. And the Nats are in a Southern California drought, just like the rest of the state. Real good at bat continues now. It's 3-2. And Ryan Zimmerman will be able to move off of first base on the pitch. And the Padres will move Adrian Gonzalez behind him.
One of the best part of this at bat is he has seen a lot of Correia's pitches, but so has our bench.
3-2, a lot of room up the middle. And he pulls it right to Gonzalez. 2 grounders to the right side, couple of hits. The Nats strand 2. Tough first inning again. The Nationals made Kevin Correia work to the tune of 21 pitches, but again, they couldn't get that 2-out hit. Now it's John Lannon's turn to go to work against the team with the lowest batting average in all of baseball at 242 and the fewest runs among the 30 teams. Kevin Kuzminoff 1 RBI more than Adrian Gonzalez to lead the Padres, hitting only 242 with 521 runs. They're 11th in homers and 12th in stolen bases, and John Lennon tries to follow up an outstanding performance at St. Louis. A former Padre, Khalil Green, got him on a fastball for a pinch-hit home run. The one offering of that game John would love to have back, but now you go out 5 days later and try to do better. Everth Cabrera, 2 for 9 in the series, couple of runs. He's already bunted a couple of times. Zimmerman charges. That's lovely. And Adam Dunn was off the bag when he caught the throw. He calmly found the bag and stepped on it.
Well, I'm glad that Zim was in about 40 feet from home plate trying to take the bunt away from Cabrera. He's done it 3 times in 2 games against the Nationals. So he scoops up the tough hop and he flips it over there, and Cabrera is back on the bench, right where he belongs.
Next up is David Eckstein. 2 for 8 with an RBI in this series and riding a 5-game hitting streak. Another bouncer. Zimmerman on 1 hop this time. 2 outs.
PNC Bank scouting report coming at you now. John Lannon, not Mel Gibson. He is not the road warrior. He's 3-8 with a 5.6 on the road this year. 5-1 with a 2.6 at home. Frank Sinatra trying to end the season on a good note, just like Old Blue Eyes and Deep Sea Dive. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. They got you Livan Hernandez. Let him be the ace for a little bit for your last 5-6 starts and just go out there and work on a few things.
And hopefully he'll do it his way. Bases empty, 2 outs, and here's Adrian Gonzalez. Interesting outing in St. Louis, though, the other day. John only had 7 ground ball outs in his outing there.
He's got over 300 ground ball outs this season.
That's a lot of dirt. Low and inside to the big power hitter, Gonzalez, 9th in the league with an on-base percentage of .406, hitting .273 overall. Top 6 in the league with 34 home runs. Lannon pounding him inside, 2-1. Great breaking ball. White Sox won that game at Minnesota with 4 in the 9th, 4-2. If they'd have lost that game, they would have been 4.5 back of Minnesota.
2-1 pitch right here. Thinking breaking ball, down and away. Adrian Gonzalez was thinking something else, and he misses it by
2-2, target in.
So he went slow, and then he speeds him up with a fastball.
Maxwell in center, Padilla in right, Pete Orr at second, Will Nieves behind the plate.
Well,
there's some guys out there who can go get the ball, that's for sure.
And I wouldn't mind here in the next few weeks letting Mike Morse get some reps out in left field or right field or first base or whatever. There's the big man that's mic'd up today.
Well, and Jim Riggle made an interesting comment this morning about guys like him and Padilla.
Yeah.
He said if you don't use them, they become useless to you.
Absolutely.
No fault of their own, but they have to see some action, get some at bats. John Lannon with a nasty breaking ball to Gonzalez. 2 grounders and a big sweeper for a K. He's off to a good start, continuing his fine work from his last start.
We'll go into the second inning. No score. Nationals and the Padres visiting with general manager Mike Rizzo, making a waiver claim today for Victor Garate, a talented left-hander out of Venezuela. Mike, what'd you see in Victor?
Well, Victor's a guy that has a three-pitch repertoire. He's effective against right-handers and left-handers. He's got swing and miss stuff, and he'll get a strikeout when you need it. And like I said, effective against right-handed hitters and left-handed hitters.
And he's 24 years old, so he's young in his career. Do you envision him as a reliever, middle relief, maybe a setup guy as he goes through the Nationals organization?
He has started in the past and relieved. We see him as an effective middle relief setup type of guy for us to complement Ron Vallone and Sean Burnett. And we see him. He's a player with options left, so we're going to take a look at him this September. And if he's ready for action next year, he'll be in the big leagues. If not, we've got options left on him to send him into minors.
All right, that's Mike Rizzo. Victor Garate from the Dodgers to the Nationals, guys.
Thank you, sir. That could be an interesting young man to have a look at in this September. It's pretty much been Vallone and Burnett lately out of the Nats bullpen from that left side. Will Nieves on a tapper up the middle to his left and in. Cabrera, plenty of time to get it done for the first out.
Some more defense from the Padres coming at you. Correia with the big breaking ball. If you don't take that to right, you ground it right to the shortstop. Nice pickup. Bye-bye.
Next up, Justin Maxwell. Hit the ball sharply the other way a couple of times last night. He jacks this one to left, but there's a guy there. The ball hooking, but Chase Headley for the second out. Maxwell getting some decent swings. He led off last night. Flied to right, bounced to second, flied to center. So that's really the first ball he's pulled, and that's what the Nats want him to do, is to stay on those pitches a little longer.
Well, but also be able to cover the outside part of the plate. I mean, the 135 strikeouts in AAA, the constantly dropping that back leg and pulling off the breaking balls to right field. It's
my goodness. That ball flew into a little equipment shed right at the home plate end of the dugout. Thank goodness there were no fans around there. This thing had serious velocity.
Well, some hitters hold the bat in their fingertips like you would hold a golf club, and you get that bat headed forward, trying to get as much bat speed and torque in it. It's flying right out of your hands.
Padilla 1 for 13 in 14 games. So one major league hit. He turned 30 on August 11th. 11 plus years in the minor leagues with 4 different organizations. Pulls that slider right at Kuzminoff at third. Nats go in order. Wired Wednesday with Mike Morse. We'll hear from the outfielders straight ahead.
tickets you leave yesterday?
2. Come on. I only got 2. Yeah, I was gonna have to leave probably like 30, 40.
What?
My dad ended up buying a bunch and just gave them out to like my family and friends.
Oh, that's nice of him. Yeah, half the people in the stands yesterday were cheering for you.
Yeah.
Especially behind our dugout.
Evidently, half of Ridgecrest, California was here yesterday for J.D. Martin's start, but he didn't have to leave tickets for him. They all got their own. Kuzman off left side. Zimmerman cuts it. Gets rid of it in a hurry. He's like a young boy at play over there on a Wednesday afternoon at third base. And Rob, what'd you think of J.D. Martin's 6+ innings last night?
I thought he was outstanding. He moved the ball in and out, up and down, changed speeds, great breaking ball, good slider, crisp fastball, was hitting his spots. Got touched up a little bit later on in the start. And as he goes on, and that was only his 9th start, you know, try to cut down and be more economical and not just cut down on the amount of pitches, but hit your spots sooner and try to pitch a little bit more to contact and maybe help yourself stay around a little bit longer. I'd love to see guys like JD and Mock go 7 and 8 innings in their last 4 or 5 starts. Through 105 pitches in 6 innings. You know, 63 for strikes. That's just, I don't want to say that's too many, but by today's standards, that's getting you pulled out of the game earlier than in years past, where they'd let you throw 150 pitches, no problem, every 5th day.
Chase Headley, damaging pinch hit home run here Monday night. His only hit of the series. Started, went 0 for 4 yesterday, and he's aboard the first Padres runner with 1 out in the 2nd.
I mean, did you think JD had some more left in the tank? I mean, I did,
sure.
But you know, sometimes they're looking at your pitch count, and I'm not in love with the pitch counts and stuff, but if you're at 75 pitches in the 6th inning, they say, hey, he's got at least 1 or 2 more innings in.
Right. Well, and if his offense had 4 or 5 runs on the board, he probably would have stayed in. But on the other hand, there have been plenty of nights this year when the Nats offense did get those guys that many runs and they didn't do much with it. So it works both ways when you're talking a ball club not scoring.
We have a talented group of kids. They just have to believe it and believe in themselves and put themselves on that blackboard at the end of the season when they're being evaluated.
Lanham with a good breaking ball outside corner. Actually a cutter, 88. That was John's 56th walk of the year. He has struck out 70 in 170 innings. He's not a strikeout pitcher per se, but it's still not a very good ratio. That ball hit hard to center field. After a late start, Headley will have to stop. He had to make sure that ball got through because from his angle at first base, it looked close to Pete Orr. First and second, 1 out for the Padres. And we arrive at the 1 o'clock hour out here in beautiful San Diego. Not a cloud to be seen except way out east today. And Jim Riggleman is going to join us on Wired Wednesday live from the dugout.
You know, talking about John Lannon, he had a great run there of 9 of 10 starts from the 6th of June to the 26th of July. But since the 26th of July, 2 of his last 6 have been very tough outings for him. So, 2 of the 6 have been great. 4 of those 6 have not been so great. So it's more trying to balance the consistency throughout the year because you know you're going to get tired eventually.
John is approaching the number of innings he threw last year. He took the ball 31 times in 08, 182 innings. So he averaged right at 6 innings per outing. And he has a chance to go well beyond that if he takes his regular turn between now and October 4th. 1-0 to the catcher, Hundley. Trying to keep that ball down to get a double play ball, but he's missed with 2.
Well, and I like to measure starters by how many wins the team has in your starts, and the Nats are 11 and 16 in his 27 starts, as opposed to Kevin Correia, who was, you know, an invite to spring training. They've won 15 out of his 27 starts.
And the records are similar. Correia
Yes.
9 and 10, Lannon 8 and 9.
And as we said before, too, about being the road warrior, I mean, having an ERA that's 3 runs higher, basically, or 2 runs higher on the road than you have at home. You just got to either concentration or focus, can't let the outside things bother you, whether it's the stadium, the mound, the fans. That can't enter into it. You have to be professional, both home and on the road.
A 4-pitch walk for the second time this inning. And this is the bottom of the order where you get hurt by doing things like that.
And
Tyler Clippert found it out in the 8th inning last night, didn't he?
Well, you know, you get 2 outs, you work very hard to get those 2 outs, and then you walk the next 2 guys at the bottom of the order. And, you know, it's an old record that I keep, replaying. They're hitting 7th and 8th in the batting order for a reason.
On the worst hitting team in baseball.
On the worst hitting team in baseball. So stop giving them so much credit, attack them, throw it over the plate, and let them hit it. See what they can do. If they beat you, then you tip your hat.
Drew Macias, 7 for 38 this year.
And Steve McCaddy pops out of the dugout. He's seen enough of what's going on here with John Landon. And once again, here with John Landon, 2 of the 3 hitters he's faced, after he got an out, he has walked. So you're beating yourself. You know, make them earn it. Make your defense. We have some fast young guys out there. Make those guys play behind you. Give them a chance. Steve McCaddy, I saw him this morning, and he goes, I was going to try and not think about it. I got in the elevator, and it hit me. 2 outs. And he walked a couple of guys. I mean, that kind of stuff sticks with Steve, myself. I was talking to Pat Corrales. I mean, you got to try to start simplifying the game at this level. And we talked about, I mean, the guys at the major league level have been the best everywhere they've played. High school, college, minor leagues. And what is changing at the major league level about the game? Nothing. The game does not change. It's what you change about it mentally that's probably affecting your play.
Another breaking ball to Macias, missing 2-0. The pitcher's on deck. No score, bottom of the second. Padres threatening. Landon gets the bottom of the zone with a running fastball. Good thing. The Nationals have never led in this series. Padres trying to break on top. 2-1 pitch. Yes, again. And the count's even. Macias very passive at bat. Now it's time for him to swing the bat. And a perfect double play ball, or unloads it in a hurry. Gonzalez turns it, almost pulls Dunn off the bag, but the big man stays on, and John Lennon gets the badly needed double play ball. Top of the third inning as the Nats and Padres get together at Petco Park in San Diego. It is Wired Wednesday. And Jim Riggleman, always kind enough to spend some of his time with us. Good afternoon, Skipper. And your thoughts on your interesting lineup today featuring Maxwell and Padilla both starting.
Yeah, you know, kind of twofold. We wanted to get a couple guys a day off because we got a couple guys in the lineup struggling, as you know, and sometimes just sit back and watch one and pick it back up afterwards, you know, you'll come right back out fresh. And so we're looking for that to happen. But also, you know, we got to get these guys some games. You know, Maxwell and Padilla haven't played that much, and we got to get them some games to try to keep them sharp.
And the injury to Nigel Morgan, it's been hard to get guys on to set the table, and obviously you switched Dunn to third today and Zimmerman to fourth. I mean, is it a question of finding a right guy for the rest of the season in the number one hole, or is it give you an opportunity to test a few things out?
Yeah, you know, for the most part, it's going to be Willie while Nigel's out there. Willie's a pretty good on-base guy. He's not had great luck getting a lot of hits, but he's still getting on base pretty good. He knows how to play the game, so we're going to probably leave him up there. Today with Adam, we just wanted to get him a little protection in the lineup with Willingham out of there, so we're going to hit Zimmerman behind Dunn.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, Willie Harris, 385 on base average his last 11 games. And Jim, do you like what you've seen so far today from John Lennon after what he did at St. Louis?
Well, you know, that first inning looked just like St. Louis. It was outstanding, and then all of a sudden last inning, you know, as it can happen, you know, you just kind of lose it and you walk a couple guys, but he really came back strong after Steve McCaddy's visit and got a real necessary ground ball.
Thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
Here's Willie Harris. Pulled the ball first time to the first baseman, Adrian Gonzalez. And then Alberto Gonzalez to follow here in the third. The Nats just need one of those innings where they string together 3 or 4 hits. Everybody can relax. And then you go on from there.
It's just strange. You lose your leadoff man with a broken hand, and Belliard, who had been swinging a very hot bat, gets traded, and it's almost like guys are pressing instead of kind of saying, okay, you know, I'm going to get more reps out there because of the loss of those two guys.
Yeah, opportunity knocks. Gonzalez again to the pitcher. Willie Harris pulling the ball on the ground twice, and the Nats now have been retired 6 in a row. Come on out, T-shirt Tuesday next week when the Phillies are in. It's our first game back after Labor Day. First 10,000 fans, a Natstown T-shirt free from the Potomac Nationals. 202-675-NATS, nationals.com, or stop by the box office at the ballpark. Marlins in Friday, and then the Phillies for 3. And after that, one more homestand. Wow. And Gonzalez hitting the ball in the air in routine fashion to right field again. Now it's 7 straight for Correia, the latest pitcher to shut down the Washington offense. Nationals baseball on Masson, brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Jaguar. Visit your local Jaguar dealer for the new 510 horsepower Jaguar XKR and XFR. That's Rob and I coming to the ballpark this morning. Thanks for getting out your nice sailboat for us. A little choppy out there, but it was a lovely day.
Thank you.
Only place in California where it's wet.
What do you think of my seamanship?
You're a salty dog.
Yes.
0-2 to Kevin Correia, 5 for 39 this year, a 114 career hit. And a breaking ball. Foul tip. Will Nieves grabbed it, held on.
Land off the port bow.
Does that mean ballpark to the left?
Yes. It means Petco Park to the left, and they have been playing great since July 28th. Look at that, 20 and 14.
Man.
Trade away a bunch of guys, bring in some young bucks, 277, 32 homers.
You know who they
ERA
remind
under
me
5.
of? They remind me of Colorado about 3 or 4 years ago. A lot of young guys who came up through the organization battling for spots. Playing good defense, not beating themselves. Of course, Colorado did have Matt Holliday at that time to kind of rally around with a rising Tulowitzki, but we'll see if some of these Padres can be that good. Look at that.
Picking it again.
A carbon copy of Cabrera's first at bat, from the swing to the pit to the throw. 2 outs.
Everett, how do you like me now? We're playing in, taking away the bunt, taking away that short chop. Keep making Adam Dunn lean that way, though. He's going to keep stretching to catch some of these balls, but he's doing a great job. Nice to have a 6'6" first baseman.
It is. That is a lovely target. Here's David Eckstein. And when you look at this roster, Eckstein, I guess, and Kuzminoff of the position players, the senior members here. And then Adrian Gonzalez right behind them. So they need a guy like Eckstein to stick around for another year or two, and they re-signed him for next year already. He bounces out. Gonzalez throws him out. Here comes Adam Dunn. Zimmerman behind him in the lineup today. Adam has a base hit. So does Ryan. It's time for the middle of the order to start taking some big swings and making some noise. And for you folks with the ball club coming back home, it's never been easier to take in a ball game. See for yourself, StubHub.com, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Washington Nationals. The Nats swept the Marlins several weeks ago. Garrett Mock, Sean West on Friday. Livan Hernandez and Josh Johnson Saturday. How's that? J.D. Martin, Anibal Sanchez on Sunday. Labor Day off. And then the Phillies in next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Adam Dunn 1-for-1 with a screaming liner down the third baseline. First time. It took 14 hops before he went by the bag. And we loved it.
And I'm sure he took a lot of kidding in the dugout. There's a grown man hit that baseball. A big grown man.
Consecutive seasons with 35 plus, 6 in a row for the big fella. And Howard and Pujols. And of course Pujols is at 42 and Howard 37 this year. Just a little earlier, that ball's sitting in the upper deck in right field.
There you go. Souvenir in the second deck.
That shade's a good place to be today. It is smoking here.
It's a sizzler.
How many times we've seen that swing on a ball fair way out. He's going to get him with a backdoor breaking ball. Adam Dunn strikes out for the 4th time in this series and the 151st time this year.
I don't think he could hit this pitch with a 40-inch bat. Northrop Grumman will show the backdoor breaking ball. It's a little bit really at the back door.
Yeah.
Maybe near the outhouse.
Northrop Grumman Information Systems, they bring you the pitch track, and they're now hiring. Visit meetngc.com/is. That's MEET ngc.com/is. The Information Systems powerhouse. Ryan Zimmerman, a ringing base hit to right center, first time up.
Maybe Tiller and his umpiring crew, I think Mike Winters is the crew chief, they have a plane to catch.
That should not matter.
No, it shouldn't, but some hot days and some days when there's a bigger umpire behind home plate, sometimes it's a little liberal back there.
Zimmerman 3 for 9 in this series with a pair of doubles. Players younger than 25, career most homers, RBIs, hits, and doubles. Nice.
Is that active or all time?
That's got to be active.
Okay. Current players under 20.
Ryan will have a birthday later this month. Severe jam job there, and Gonzalez over to get it.
Chambone.
Yeah.
Yep, that was getting in someone's kitchen.
Ryan Zimmerman's birthday is September 28th. He will reach the 25-year mark there. Oh, to be 25 with a contract like that and that ability.
Oh, the skills.
Wow.
Remember, you recognize the skills.
Absolutely. Well, that's what got him the contract. And a strike to Pete Orr, who pulled the ball on the ground first time. Both pitchers economical. 12 per inning for Correia first 3, 13 per inning for Lannon first 3. And Orr rolls over another one. He's got the left-handed batters doing that. Willie Harris and Pete Orr are 0 for 4 hitting the ball on the ground to the first baseman.
scoreless in the 4th inning. Today is the 2009 Roberto Clemente Day, the 8th annual day to honor the Hall of Famer from the Pittsburgh Pirates. John Lannon is the nominee for the Nationals this year. Exceptional work in the community and also great performance on the field. And he talks about the legacy of Roberto Clemente.
I mean, he changed the game. You know, he did a lot of great things for his home country, did a lot of great things here. And he's a great player on and off the field, and it's something you really try to aspire to be.
Lannon started Lannon's Cannons, of course, the ticket program that helps sick children from NIH come to Sunday home games with the Nationals, guys.
All right, well done, John Lannon. A deserving honor. More on that Friday when we honor Roberto Clemente at Nationals Park. Bottom of the 4th, Lannon to Adrian Gonzalez, ball 1. Gonzalez struck out looking first time.
Give you a little bit more on Clemente. Selected to participate in 12 All-Star games, won 12 Gold Gloves, and he led the league in batting 4 different times.
It's a little tricky on that grass out there, and it went right through the wickets on Pete Orr.
But it was really the charity work, which is why we remember Roberto Clemente, as we said before. He died in a plane crash December 31st, 1972, while he was en route to deliver aid to earthquake victims in Nicaragua. His body was never recovered, so having played in Puerto Rico 3 different winters, his memory will live on for a long, long time. He is still revered down in Puerto Rico, and I was there in the mid-90s, which was more than 20 years after his death.
John Lannon will be partly honored with the #1 honoree, the late Clemente, at Nationals Park on Friday night, Roberto Clemente night. Hey, if you have any kind of sports jersey with the number 21 on it, wear it. He'd love the tribute. So Pete Orr gets his first error as a National on what's usually a base hit, but he was playing out there in the shift, and the ball went right through his legs. John Lannon may need to spin another double play ball here. Kuzmanov, 24 double play ground balls this year. Chase Headley next.
This I did not know about Clemente. In the winter of 58-59, he served in the United States Marine Corps Reserves. Spent 6 months military commitment at Parris Island, South Carolina. Was an infantryman.
John Lannon with another walk, his 3rd of the day.
How about this? It added strength, and he gained 10 pounds in the military, and it also said it cleared up his back troubles.
Wow.
How awesome is that?
There you go. If you're back sore, check in with your chiropractor and join the Marines.
Very nice.
That's really good. Your back will be one of the few and the proud, and it won't hurt anymore.
That's like, I think it's John Candy in Stripes, where he goes, well, you know, those diet programs are expensive. I figured I'd join the Army and drop some weight and, be a lean, mean fighting machine.
John Candy, huh?
Oh my God, John Candy was hilarious. The late John Candy.
Funny man. Headley hits one hard but foul. That movie, Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, reminds me of Traveling with Rob Dibble. Except for that one scene.
Are those hands between some pillows? No! Hey, how about them Dodgers? That's
funny stuff. That's the scene I was talking about.
Yeah, I know.
0-2 to Headley, who walked his first time and swings through one.
John Lannon in familiar territory. We've talked about this. You talked about the walks, and he rolls a lot of double play balls. Already got out of a jam in the 2nd inning with a double play ball, but you don't want to consistently or constantly put yourself behind the 8 ball.
Swing and another foul.
Putting a couple of guys on base, and obviously the bad hop with Gonzalez's ground ball.
I did spot a flaw in that movie, by the way, though.
Which one? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Because, you know, they're trying to get to Chicago. When they're crossing the bridge, They're going into St. Louis, not out of St. Louis.
Oh.
See, they think we don't catch stuff like that.
But maybe they put it in there so you would catch it. Did you ever think of that?
Well, they were going the wrong way.
No one is more thankful about GPS navigation on board your car than myself. I used to get lost in my own neighborhood. It's not good with directions. And you study maps.
I'm sick, I know it. Zimmerman, a little double pump. Did it cost him the double play? Yes. It took Ryan one extra half of a hop to get the ball out. He got the middle runner at second base, but lost the twin killing. 5-4 on that fielder's choice.
Well, while he's transferring the ball to his throwing hand, a little bit of a bobble, a little too much time getting it to Pete Orr. Watch right here, the transfer out of the glove, trying to get the grip. It looked like he reached in and the ball was on the backside of his fingers and quickly made the change, but it was too much.
Here's Will Venable, who singled up the middle first time.
That Hundley can get down the line for a catcher, but he's got some speed.
Yeah, right-handed hitting catcher, left-handed hitting catcher, sometimes not much different. But he got down the line in good fashion there.
I think it was the first game he had like an infield single deep in the hole to Alberto.
He did. First at bat Monday night.
I just wanted you to check it because I know how you keep perfect records.
And that night you had your black shirt and your red tie on.
That's funny.
I don't get that copious.
No, that's what I love about you. We're the odd couple.
There is no doubt about that.
You're Oscar, right? Or my Oscar? Felix was the anal one.
Well, that would be me then.
The very prepared one.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm sloppy and
well, and
slob.
you improvise on a minute-by-minute basis throughout the day.
Throughout the day, throughout my life. And adapt.
1-2. And I'm reaching. Well, the world would be really boring if everybody was like me, and it would be total chaos if everybody was like you. So we find a balance.
Yes, absolutely.
Somewhere in between there.
Absolutely. It's the negative and the positive, you know. Took a lot off of that breaking ball right there. Venable way out in front.
Lannon's made some good pitches to him in this at bat. Venable riding a 6-game hitting streak. He's hit safely now. Well, 7 now, and 10 of his last 12 ball games hitting safely. And a lot of times, as we've mentioned, you can tell by a hitter the balls he's fouling off how well he's going.
Well, some of the finer points and very solid things for John Landon. He repeats his delivery. He's very good at repeating that, and he gets out over that front leg. So his follow-through is excellent, too.
Lannon gets him down and in. Moving the ball around beautifully during that at-bat.
That ball had great sink to it. I don't know. It might have been a two-seam fastball that he doesn't throw a lot of. Throws a lot of sweeping, breaking balls, great changeup. And right here, that ball just dives out of the zone at 88 miles an hour.
That's what's great about the pitch track. It gives you the velocity, but also the movement. Too hard to be a changeup, and that's a good sinker. And now a right-handed batter, Hundley, who walked and was wiped out on a double play off the bat of Macias back in the second, and now Lannon gets ahead of him.
Well, and if I was coaching a young pitcher, I would say, listen, watch John Lannon pitch, because he repeats the delivery, but he gets out over that front leg so well. We used to do a drill where we put a coin out in front of the mound, at the front of the mound, and you have to reach out and follow through after the pitch and pick up that coin off the dirt.
High chopper with lots of overspin. Gonzalez to Orr, John Lannon. flirting with trouble, but getting out of it again. Scoreless game into the 5th. Supply Company. The near corner of that building, by the way, is the left field foul pole. They had to line it up perfectly because I'm pretty sure that building was here first. We have trivia for you going to the top of the 5th in a scoreless game. Nieves, Maxwell, Padilla coming up.
That duck is quackers.
The two players in today's game whose first career homer was a grand slam.
Wow.
Well, I know one of them. He's on deck.
Maxwell?
Yes, sir, in Florida. Have to think about the other.
First home run.
Folks, help us out. Be thinking. Put your thinking cap on.
Let's say either Kuzminoff or Gonzalez. No, you know what it is? I think it's Hundley. I think I read that in his bio.
Okay, let's go with Maxwell and Hundley. Will Nieves pulled the ball to short first time up. Goes the other way, hits it sharply, but Gonzalez is over there. He's had a busy day with the mitt. And here's Maxwell, whose third major league at bat at Florida, September 11th of 07 against Chris Seddon, was a grand slam. And it was a pinch hit grand slam. I think the score was 12-0 when he hit that. So, and that it was not the good way, 12-0.
So it finished being 12-4?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the final score was like 12-6 or something. Somebody else, I think Zimmerman might have hit one. But that was Max's first. He's hit 2 big league homers. Taps that foul. In fact, 07, I was looking over this today, is when the Marlins really started dominating the Nats at the end of the season. Then last year, they went 14-3 against Washington. 9-3 this year. So despite the sweep of a couple weeks ago, the Nats still owe the Fish 2 or 3 this weekend. Jim Riggleman knows it's a lot easier to manage when you have people on base and you can move runners, hit behind them, sacrifice. That's a good shot by Maxwell, but every time the Nats hit a ball hard, somebody's right there. He's lined out hard to the outfield twice today. Sunday at Nationals Park is Dollar Kids Day. Purchase up to 4 tickets for children ages 2 to 12 for $1 each. And that's with the purchase of a full price adult ticket in any seating area except the President's Club, Diamond Club, and the Grandstand. Offer good at the box office Sunday only. The kids must be with you at the time of the purchase, and you can't combine that with any other orders or offers. Right field side, Padilla. The outs keep coming quickly. The Nats have been retired 13 in a row now. John Lennon and Kevin Correia match each other just about perfectly so far. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Correia, 55 pitches, 39 strikes in his first 5. And because of a long 4th inning, John Lennon 61 offerings, 38 in the strike zone. But he's got the ground ball thing going today.
Yes, he does. He's got it working. The 3 strikeouts and the ground outs have got him out of a few jams, but that's making your pitches when you need to. When we just talk about John Lennon, you know, we love the guy. We want him to not have to work so hard.
Breaking ball low to Drew Macias leading off the 5th. He's ahead of the pitcher, Correia, and then Cabrera. That ball's trouble, left field line, unless Willie Harris tumbles to get there. You're looking at 2 or 3 bases if he doesn't make that play. Sometimes it helps to have a left fielder with the glove on the right hand.
Right you are, Bob. Right here, this ball is going to be a shot tailing away from Willie Harris. His speed catches up to it. His athleticism makes the play. Right here, gives up his body, almost jams that wrist. Thankfully, he pulled it through. Maybe a few scrapes, but he's no worse for the wear.
You know, Willie Harris is one of the best outfielders I've seen who's right-handed, going to backhand plays on that left field line. It'll be a long time before we forget the play he made at Shea Stadium last year in a 1-0 ball game that helped the Nats win.
I've seen many outfielders, including this year. Jay Bruce broke his wrist. Matsui 2 years ago broke his wrist on a diving play in left field. I've just seen so many guys that when you lay out and you let that glove stay underneath you and turn the wrong way, you're in trouble.
Lennon trying to get a couple of quick outs. He takes care of business with the pitcher. Top of the order now, Cabrera. I'm pretty sure I know where Ryan Zimmerman will be playing on this matter. All right, let's have a look at that trivia. We know that Justin Maxwell is one of the 2 guys. First career homer was a grand slam. Was the other one Nick Hundley? Kevin
Kevin, that was too easy. Come on, he's a hammer. Please. He's the hammer on their side of the field.
Oh, nice try, Rob.
All right.
You get him Friday. We're told that the first pitch Kevin Kuzminoff ever saw in the big leagues was hit for a grand slam. He must have been looking first pitch fastball.
I think he closed his eyes and swung. That's what they told me.
Cabrera 3-0 now. He said 2 identical choppers to the shallow playing Zimmerman on the left side. John Lennon's already walked 3 guys today. He's only given up 1 hit. Will Venable, a clean single up the middle back in the 2nd.
You don't want to start messing around with 2 outs in this little shrimp up there at the plate.
Yeah, if you walk him, it might become a double.
Absolutely.
He's stolen 20 bases in 23 attempts.
Well, and then it's Eckstein who's going to grind out an at bat every time he gets up there, and then you're in big trouble with Gonzalez and Kuzminoff. So don't hurt yourself right here.
He's hit 2 home runs all year. Throw it down the middle. See if he can hit it fair. He will. Nothing Zimmerman can do. All right.
Hey, came back from down 3 balls, and you made the guy have to get over the third base bag infield single. Well, one of Cabrera's best bolts right there, and it's so far foul after it's fair, and Zim can't throw him out.
If those guys hit a grounder that you either have to lay back on or not able to charge, they're going to be safe. That fast. And here's Eckstein. 2 grounders pulled, 1 to Zimmerman, 1 to Gonzalez. Pitch out, and the 20 stolen base man not going anywhere yet.
But the way I look at it, he earned it. You know, make the guy earn it. Don't walk him. You know, the 3 free passes by John Lennon, that puts you into problems. That 1 inning that he walked 2 out of 3 and then the single in between, the bases loaded. He was in a jam. Needed a double play to get out of it. You don't want to have to make perfect pitches to get out of jams. So with 2 outs, don't walk that guy. And he earned it. He got a base hit.
There's Eckstein keeping the inning alive.
Yep, grinding out another at bat.
It's Gonzalez now. Now last time, and Pete Orr's going back to that spot, he basically singled to right field, but Pete Orr was playing out there where he's walking right now. Pete let the ball get in between his legs. I can guarantee you with Pete Orr that won't happen again. But a dangerous hitter nonetheless with 2 on 2 out in a scoreless game. Missing inside after missing away.
Well, and now John Lannon is approaching 80 pitches, and he's not even through 5 innings yet.
He was pumping. Willie Harris after it. He can't get it. It's up against the wall. 2 runs will score, and Gonzalez gives the Padres the lead. He hit it so hard, Willie Harris couldn't outrun it. And for Gonzalez, RBIs number 78 and 9.
Well, Gonzalez goes with the breaking ball. You got him on a strikeout 1 time today with that. Not that time. Good hitters will make adjustments. Gonzalez made the adjustment to the breaking ball, the sweeper, and he swept it over Willie Harris's head for 2 ribbies.
Looked like Willie was going to get there. Don't know how much he missed it by. And it was just off the webbing of his glove. Looks like the Nats are going to walk Kuzman off and take their chances with Chase Headley. Well, the exact inning that Rob envisioned if Lannon walked Cabrera. He did earn his way on, but the scenario of the inning worked out just as you had feared.
Well, and sometimes, you know, you put yourself in jeopardy. You got 2 quick outs.
But he fell behind the little guy.
You fell behind the little leadoff guy, giving him a little bit too much respect. And he got an infield single, scratched that out, which he's done a lot of in the last 3 days. Eckstein grinded out his at bat, which is why he's in the 2-hole. And then your real pain guys are Gonzalez and Kuzmanov, and Gonzalez got you today. Now you got to rebound. You got to say, okay, that's it. That's all they're going to get, 2 runs. And leave on Hernandez until he got touched up for the pinch hit home run by Headley the other night. Was excellent for 6 or 7 innings after he gave up the 2 runs early.
Headley, a switch hitter. He's walked and grounded into a fielder's choice today on a ball that should have been a double play. He'll drive it to right. It backs up Padilla and goes over his head. Gonzalez scores. Kuzmanov coming in for 0.
Remember, this is all with 2 outs. It's a breaking ball down and in, but it stays up high enough where Headley just inside outs and whacks it over Padilla's head. Two outs, running on contact. Kuzmanov scores easily from first.
Jason Bergman getting up. Looks like Sosa now. Saul Rivera grabbing his glove. Now there's Saul, 52. This happened quickly, didn't it?
Yep.
4 out of the last 5 batters are hitting safely. Kuzman off the walk. It's lefty-lefty now with Lannon and Venable. Chase Headley, by the way, up to 50 RBIs on that swing. And 3 of those in this series on 2 extra base hits. Breaking ball, broken bat. It's going to be 5-0.
Well, Bob, we talked about this before the game. On the road, John Lannon 3-8 with a 5.6 earned run average, 3 runs higher than his home ERA. He's 5-1 with a 2.6 ERA at Nationals Park.
Who would have thought that Nick Hundley, who made the last out last inning, would bat in this 5th inning after the 2 guys behind him were retired to start the 5th. And it's possible now that John Lannon's facing his last hitter today, whether he gets the batter or not. It'll be a pop-up out behind second for Pete Orr. Sunglasses blazing. He's got it. 9 Padres bat, 5 score. Lannon due to lead off in the top of the 6th.
If I had a team, if I was an owner, I'd bring back Moises Alou, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, and Marquise Grissom in my outfit.
You'll win.
The last time I counted, you're only supposed to use 3 outfielders, but I guess one of those guys could play first base. And as if on cue, Mike Morris will bat for John Lannon here starting the top of the 6th.
Well, they are a little bit older. I didn't think he qualified it and said in their prime. Moises Alou, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, and Marquise Grissom. So they're all in their 40s now. There's 4 of them. So I think you might need 4 old fogies to cover the outfield. I'm kidding. They're all awesome in their prime.
Great response by Marquise, though. You'd win.
You'd win. But see, you'd have some major ego problems in the clubhouse.
No.
Not Moises and not Marquise. So
yeah.
There would be a fight for the 3 spots.
Yeah. Have to have somebody sneaking cork in there.
Oh, nice throw in there, Bobby.
Well, I mean.
No, hey, that's one of my biggest pet peeves.
I'm not speculating that happened.
It happened. He broke the bat open, and then, I was using the cork bat to quicken my hands.
Then you got people climbing through the air conditioning vents.
No, I knew for a fact that he took time before every game to tape up his gamers. He knew exactly what bat he was pulling out of there. It had cork in it.
Well, Mike Morse is 27 years of age from Lauderdale. The Nats got him for Ryan Langerhans June 28th.
How about uncorking one right here?
Yeah.
Mic'd up Mike Morse.
2 for 10 in 8 ball games so far. And a good idea, the breaking ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I know you've watched him in batting practice, and all the scouts and evaluators that we have. He is strong. We need to find a place for the kid. He's got to get some reps. He's got to get some ABs. He's big, he's strong, and he hits the ball a ton.
Just 2 for 9 in 5 games with Seattle last year before they had to reconstruct his shoulder. Totally overmatched on that breaking ball. Strikeout number 3 for Kevin Correia, who's the latest pitcher looking like a 15 to 20 game winner against this struggling Washington offense. He's given the Nats 2 hits, back-to-back singles by Dunn and Zimmerman in the first inning, and since then 14 straight. Retired.
Well, John Lannon had given up 1 hit and had 4 shutout innings going into that 5th inning. And then the wheels came off.
29 pitches that frame, 5 runs, 6 hits in 5 innings, 4 walks, 1 intentional, 3 strikeouts, a double play ball, 90 pitches, 52 strikes. Same number of pitches that got him through 8 innings in St. Louis on Friday night. That ball jacked high in the air by Willie Harris, right field line.
He loses it.
He did lose it.
And he made a great
Venable
recovery.
found it. The sun is straight overhead coming in from the third base side of home plate, and it got right in the sun on him. But it was up there so long, Rob, he was able to re-find it.
And watch him right at the end, Bob. He's going to throw the hands up. Okay, I have no clue where it is. I had it, tracking, and then I got it back. Where is it? I got it.
Wow.
So even with the shading of the glove and the glasses on, he lost the ball, but made a great recovery.
Bases empty, 2 outs. That seems to be happening every inning on about 5 or 6 pitches. Well, this road trip looked pretty good last Thursday when the Nats won 2 out of 3 at Chicago. Swept at St. Louis. A threat of that here. Down 5. And only 10 outs with which to work. And Gonzalez, the Nats need him on base. He cannot get wild here and swing at something way out of the zone on 3-1. A walk's as good as a hit with Adam Dunn waiting here in the 6th.
Well, the same thing we talk about with Alberto Gonzalez. Justin Maxwell's been doing it. It's dropping that back leg and the back shoulder and popping the ball up, and he does it again.
That is ball 4, and now it's a can of corn to left field. That kid's having some really bad at bats right now. 0 for 3, 3 fly balls. The Nats are gone in the 6th. Nothing is going right for the Nationals right now. John Lannon, a tough inning, gives up 5 hits. There is nothing happening offensively with this ball club.
No, and some guys continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over. And remember, some of our big evaluators are sitting right next door to us. They're watching this stuff. They know what's going on. And we may love these guys, but we may not be seeing a lot of them coming to spring training. I mean, you got to go in a direction where you get more consistent and more quality at bats. And Alberto Gonzalez has had more than enough time to make that adjustment from popping the ball up to, what he did last night, which is he hit 3 balls. He scalded 3 balls last night, did get the 1 hit, but he's got to be hitting down on the ball. He's not a home run type hitter.
And that was a 3-1 count. It was ball 4, and Adam Dunn's on deck. That hurts. Saul Rivera gives up a leadoff hit to Drew Macias.
Bob, and the more I talk to, not just our scouts, but guys I played with, played against, other coaches, managers, the game is not that difficult. You prepare yourself, you put your work in, and go out there and just think ahead of time. Okay, if he throws me a breaking ball, I'm going to take it the other way. If he throws me something in, I'm going to pull it down the line and try to get a double. But when you're beating yourself and you're dropping that back leg and you're popping balls up that you should be driving through the infield, driving back up the middle, it's hard to just keep saying, okay, this guy's going to get better. You're out here to win the division, go to the playoffs, win a championship. This isn't an instructional league. This isn't the minor leagues. It's the major leagues. So you have to always adjust and correct things. If you have a flaw, you must correct it. And if you don't, they can get somebody that'll come up here and do the job better than you're doing. And I think that the Nationals have been more than patient with a few people. Thankfully, that's not my job to evaluate them.
Well, Alberto Gonzalez is now hitting down under 250. Correia, the pitcher, he's had a really good afternoon. 67 pitches in 6 innings. Lays it down, and that's the first thing he's done wrong today. Fouled the bunt. Strike 2. And I know I've talked with many basketball coaches about this over the years. When you have a point guard, court awareness, knowing who's around you, what the situation is. And in baseball terms, guys like Gonzalez are point guards. They're not power forwards and centers. They have to do the little things to get the big guy set up. Rivera took a look at second, and the Nats had 2 men covering, and Adam Dunn took the throw. I guess that's better than nobody over there.
Well, and I did discuss this with some of our coaching staff today about J.D. Martin not throwing the ball to Pete Orr. I guess they had told J.D. that don't worry, Pete Orr will be at the bag, throw the ball. And he chose not to throw the ball last night twice when Pete Orr was covering first base. But the bottom line is right there, had Orr and Dunn. So he could have thrown it to, well, in Orr or Dunn. Either one.
1-3 on the sacrifice. Top of the order, Cabrera, who's troublesome at bat with 2 outs and the bases empty last inning, was the beginning of the end for John Lannon.
But you make a great point. I mean, if you're not a power guy, why are you swinging with a big, long power type swing?
Had a 3-1 fastball up and in. He wants you to swing at that pitch.
Absolutely.
Orr's got to hurry. Plays it well. Andrew Macias over to third with 2 down now. The next Know Your Nats segment on the Notes from Natstown blog features Adam Dunn. Submit your questions by emailing natstown@nationals.com or through the comments section of the blog. If they use your question, a free t-shirt is headed your way. You can submit them now through next Tuesday. natstown.mlblogs.com to get the most exclusive Nats news. David Eckstein with a 2-out RBI chance. He will put the bat on the ball.
Well, and I was at the World Series that he won the World Series MVP. And, you have to respect what this kid has done and made himself into a fantastic player.
He checks that ball, and Willie Harris isn't going to come close to it. David Eckstein hits one 380 to left center, and the Padres are doing everything right. They lead 6-0. And you know what David Eckstein's going to do now that he has that new contract for next year? He's going to work even harder than he already does.
He's going to work like they're going to take his job away from him tomorrow. That's the way David Eckstein approaches every day in the major leagues. Same thing Albert Pujols does. Every year he comes to spring training, he has worked so hard because he's afraid he's going to lose his job. And that's, I've been saying that for 6 months, Bob. And the problem is that some of the guys aren't getting, it's not getting through to some of our players. You know, David Eckstein, 9 times out of 10, he's trying to hit a ball hard through the middle, try to shoot the gap, trying to get a base hit. One mistake Saul Rivera makes to him, he launches it for a double. But he'll go right back his next at bat, trying to hit down on the ball and hit a line drive. Know your limitations.
Choking up on the bat to do so.
Oh, goodness gracious. He's like Felix Mian. He's choking halfway up the bat. He's just trying to slap it through there. I mean, it just boggles my mind when I see some of the approaches by some of our players and then other approaches by guys that should be having the David Eckstein approach.
By the way, on the MASNsports.com blog this week, Debbie Taylor profiles the Ecksteins. It's a very informational piece and really chronicles some of the struggles they've had as a family with health issues off the field. It's been amazing, the journey the Ecksteins have taken. Scrambling Gonzalez plays it well. Out, and a good thing because Eckstein was heading home. 6-0 as the Pods add another in the 6th. Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by PNC Bank. PNC leading the way. One of the tall ships there at the North Island Naval Air Base right across from the Convention Center and Petco Park here in beautiful San Diego. Scoreboard looks great for the home team. The Nationals have nothing going offensively, trying to wake up the bats for the final 3 innings of this 2-6 road trip. Dunn, Zimmerman, and Orr in the 7th. And something going on between the home plate umpire Chris Tiller and Jim Riggleman. Jim managed here back in '93. Adam Dunn having a tough series. 1 for 9, 4 strikeouts, a walk. 5 for his last 32. With a base hit today. They're really pitching him well away. And other than that little hit down the line, Adam hasn't hit the ball the other way on this trip to speak of.
Well, if you pitch him soft away, then it's all his power to the opposite side of the field. And then they throw him high and tight so he can't get his arms extended. I mean, they've been trying to do that all year. And when he breaks out of his, small little valleys that he's gone into a few times this year, he can crush the ball. But they're trying to stay away from his strength.
You know, the other thing about Dunn, even hitting in the high 270s like he is right now, that's about 30 points over his career batting average. He's having a better than average Adam Dunn season.
Look at that, almost 500 when he's ahead 3-1 in the count.
Protection in the lineup from Ryan Zimmerman today. But coming in, Adam Dunn's batting average coming into this year, 247, on base average 381. He started today at 278 and 413. Little tapper hit his foot and a foul ball. Adam walks a lot on 3-2, more than he strikes out, but doesn't get a whole lot of hits. I'd say on 3-2 he takes more than he swings. Trying to become the first batter since the first inning to get on base. Correia's last start, 6 2/3 at Florida. They gave up 4 runs on 11 hits. Scattered lots of hits and got a win pitching nearly 7 innings, but he'd only gone 7 innings or more 3 times all year. One of those was at Texas against that offense. Adam Dunn gone again. 4th strikeout for Correia.
Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Here's our all-star third baseman at work here with Everett Cabrera. A couple of short choppers there, and you see him short hop it, but still bury it in the ground, pick it up, throw it over to first a couple of times. Keep Cabrera off the base path. So Coors Light Freeze Can showing him hard at work and why you charge the ball and why you play in on a guy that had bunted for 3 base hits in 2 games.
Almost identical plays in the first and third innings. Zimmerman 1 for 2 today. 3 for 10 in the series, no RBIs. The Nationals have 1 batter in their lineup today who's driven a run in this series, and that's Pete Orr. The only other run came last night from catcher Josh Bard on his 32nd career home run. Two 2-0 fastball in there. What's Kevin Correia doing, Rob, that's so effective today?
Throwing the ball down the middle. I'm kidding. He's changing speeds, especially with the breaking ball. He was doing what J.D. Martin did yesterday. Strikes in and out with the fastball, but the breaking ball is just so up in the air, then down with the 12-6 movement. You got guys that are popping it up and driving it up into the stratosphere, and then you've got the other guys that get on top of that curveball, beat it down into the ground for weak little ground ball outs.
And this was a player that could have been had by anybody in the league. Came to San Diego camp as a non-roster invitee. Swing back fastball there, 2-2 to Zimmerman, and a hard slider low and away, counts full. Zimmerman, one hopper, Kuzmanov, a third baseman who's made 3 errors all year. minor league seasons are winding down, and some news from Byron Kerr.
A good day for the Gulf Coast League. The Nationals defeat the Marlins 3-1 in Jupiter, Florida. Urias Tejada had 2 hits and 3 RBI. The pitching heroes included Josh Smoker, 1 run in 5 innings pitched, and Shane McCanny gets the victory, 2 innings pitched with no runs allowed. They can take the series tomorrow in Vieira, guys.
And time is running out on Syracuse. They're 4.5 back of Scranton Wilkes-Barre with about 5 or 6 days left in the season. And a first pitch swing by Pete Orr. He's 0 for 3. Macias grabs it. 19 Nationals in a row. Hopefully we'll be able to smell some home cooking sometime soon. Game summary. Adrian Gonzalez, the big hit of the game, a 2-out, 2-run double, put the Padres on top in the 5th, leading to a 5-run inning. Chase Utley also drove in 2 at-bats later after the Kuzminoff intentional walk. And Kevin Correia has been outstanding. A 2-hitter through 7. He's retired 19 consecutive Washington hitters. And Jorge Sosa takes over after Saul Rivera was touched for a run on 2 hits in the 6th.
We talked about this yesterday with the Padres ball club, that since 2004 they have the best home earned run average as a pitching staff in the major leagues.
Yeah, what's that? 6 straight seasons under 4.
6 straight seasons under 4. They use their ballpark. And you know what? Washington, the Nationals ballpark is a big ballpark. If you pitch in it properly, you could use it to your advantage. So, you know, talked about this, using your surroundings, your environment, the other team, attacking their weaknesses.
Looks like Luis Perdomo. Their starter has only thrown 82 pitches in 7 innings. Unless he's on a 90-pitch limit, he ought to keep going for a while. Kuzminoff on the first pitch of the 7th pops it up. They converge in the middle of the infield, and Gonzalez takes charge. Alberto for the first out. Today's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. 14,468 announced here today. Shift is on for Chase Headley.
Now you know why in the 27 starts coming in today for Correia that the Padres have won 15 of them. He keeps you in the ball game. Sometimes he gives up a few runs, but
barring a disaster, he's going to be a 10-game winner for a last-place team.
That's 18 times now out of 28 starts Correia has gone more than 6 innings. It's a pretty good percentage.
He's given up more than 4 runs only 4 times all year in his starts. make that 5. 2 starts ago, he gave up 5 to a good St. Louis club, but he's been very, very consistent for them. I like some of the arms they got from Chicago in that Jake Peavy deal. That Clayton Richard kid looked pretty good last night, going 6 2/3 with a run on 4 hits and a baffling breaking ball and an even more baffling kickoff move. Three and 2 to Headley. Sosa walks him. That's the 5th walk given by the Nats today. Follow the Nationals on your iPhone and your iPod Touch. It's called MLB.com At Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play video highlights, live audio. Visit Nationals.com on your iPhone, your iPod Touch to purchase. Here's Will Venable, 2 for 3 with an RBI. Well, barring a miraculous last 2-inning comeback, the Nationals after today will be 30 under 500 on the road. 19 and 49 if they don't win this one.
I think you just shoot for some small goals to end the season, but one of them would be try to get 63 wins. Stay away from the 100-loss season again.
Well, to do that, after today, the Nats will have 28 games left. They would have to win 17 of those 28.
It's doable.
They need 14 of those 28 to win more games than last year. Typical Sosa inning, a lot of pitches, long counts. And it's 2 and 2 on Will Venable. Nationals are his 9th organization. And his 5th at the major league level.
Well, just like we watched with Jesus Colome.
They were on the same staff together at Tampa Bay.
No wonder Lou Piniella was fit to be tied. I mean, you come in and we talk about being an up-tempo pitcher. It keeps your defense in the game. You know, there's a flow. Besides, Sosa and Colome must have played at the same high school together. So they are the most non-tempo 2 pitchers I've ever seen, other than Steve Traxel. It's all about bringing the game to a screeching halt. All that does is make your defense fall asleep out there and get back on their heels, and they can't make plays behind you. And
Cubs closed out that 2-0 win at home over Houston today. But even with that win, they're 10 back of St. Louis, hosting Milwaukee again this evening. And they have Chris Carpenter, 14-3 pitching. And a swing and a miss on a pitch low. Sosa, after several foul balls, getting Venable for the second out here in the 7th. That'll bring up Nick Hundley, the catcher.
Well, he battled, fouled off a bunch of pitches, and then Sosa just throws an unhittable. It's like a slider or a forkball. Just down in the dirt. Sell it like a fastball, and then it breaks out of the zone. Hitters usually have no chance. I do like those seats on top of the Western Metal Supply Company.
Do you know?
Yeah, that would be a great vantage point to watch a ball game. Thank you.
They're facing right field. You'd have to sit there all day looking to the right. Isn't that the thing about all the new ballparks? Like even down toward the corners, the seats are turned back toward the infield a bit. Got to be a great view from up there, though.
Yeah, I think you're up high enough to where even though your seat may be facing that way, you still have a good vantage point.
There you go, way up there.
Up on top.
That's as high as the Wrigley rooftops we saw last week, or higher.
Yeah, I think that's higher than also the Green Monster in Boston.
What are you doing up there, Byron?
Supply Company was built in 1909 at a cost of $60,000, which in that day and age was considerable.
Wow.
The architects kept the Western Metal Supply Company building in place, similar to what happened with the B&O warehouse at Camden Yards. And the company filed for bankruptcy in 1975. The architects decided to keep it and build around it. Back in the day, it was steel distribution, wagon makers materials, blacksmith supplies, and then it turned into a large hardware wholesale operation.
Wow. Would your dad work there or something?
Yeah,
nice
he sent me an email to tell me that.
So my
better talk about the Western Metal Supply Company.
My great-great-grandfather, Jesse James Dibble, would have gotten maybe some metal out here.
Jesse James Dibble.
I did have a great-great-grandfather that his first name was Jesse, but I don't think his second name was Jesse.
Okay.
Jesse Dibble. I like that name, Jesse.
Sounds outlawish.
Yes.
3-1 from Sosa. All right, what else can we talk about this inning? 2 on, 2 out with a pair of walks, a strikeout.
Sosa's going to give us plenty of time to talk, so.
But, you know, the thing is, that building was here before the ballpark was, so I'm sure the Padres had to do some really interesting laser work and other things to make sure that the left field foul pole, which is that line right there at the corner of the building, so that would line up perfectly with the left field line here. It's pretty fascinating how they were able to pull that off. They couldn't move the building, and it had to be on the corner of that. So if the ball hits and goes to the left, you know it's foul. If it goes to the right, you know it's fair. Home run. Kind of clever, actually.
I was told the architect just eyeballed it.
They're not that good.
Yep, that's the left field line. To start and we'll
get out the plumb string and we'll line it up.
Get out your protractor.
Drew Macias 1 for 3 with a base hit and a run scored. Pretty cool though how they added the balconies out there. And Correia, even though they were warming up a pitcher on deck here in the 7th, as I mentioned, he's only thrown 82 pitches in 7 innings. Well, this area has really grown up because I remember when the Nationals first came here 3 years ago, I looked out over center field and said, if you build it, cranes will come. There were nothing but cranes in the outfield. Now we only see one of them about 4 blocks away because this area with new condos and lofts and all kinds of buildings has really grown up. There's the crane, but he's about 4 blocks up the street.
I see 2. One's in dead center, and one's
okay.
a plane just flew over that one over the right foul pole.
It's amazing here, though, the development that has taken place around this ballpark.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, 20 years ago when I played against the Padres at Jack Murphy and then Qualcomm, which is a ways from here.
Mission Valley.
Yeah, there were no buildings like this around. I mean, even where we're staying over at the Marriott Marina on the water and around there, it's gorgeous down here now. It's like San Francisco, where they built the ballpark and then they built up the neighborhood around it.
Condo Canyon, they call it here. Ball 3. Wow. You have to be around the plate to get those calls. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. In certain situations in this series, the bottom of the San Diego lineup has really hurt the Nats.
I see it now. He pitched around all of those guys
to get to the pitcher. 2:30 in the PM here in San Diego. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, Byron Kerr in for Debbie Taylor. Steve McCaddy in for a visit here on Masson 2. The Nationals back home Friday against the Marlins with Garrett Mock.
That was nice of Byron Kerr, though, to throw in Shane McCaddy's recent exploits as his father is our pitching coach.
As well as the history of the Western Metal Supply Company. Aaron Boone, he's going to be playing today.
I think he already played.
That is so great. We saw him in Arizona a couple of months ago after the open heart surgery. Just amazing. What a guy. He was such a wonderful presence on our ball club last year. His dad's next door. We wish their family the best. Cole Hamels, as I mentioned last night, because that game was over before this one started last night, a 2-hitter against the Giants. And Tim Hudson is back. Just over a year removed from that ligament transplant.
Well, and I talked to Aaron Boone's father, Bob, who's our senior vice president in charge of player development with the Nationals, and he said that, and I asked him point blank, I didn't know you had seen the scar on his chest, but they went through his ribs to work on his heart, and that's what took him the longest time to recover, because once they fixed the heart, it healed quickly, but, you know, cutting through the breastplate and all that. I just think it's miraculous that he's on a baseball field in the major leagues, no doubt.
He went 0 for 3 today at Wrigley Field and played first base in the Astros 2-0 loss to the Cubs.
But 5 months post-surgery, I just think it's amazing.
Two and one. Ball 3, but he swung, and the count's even. Correia 0 for 2 with a sacrifice today, and pitching one of his best games of the year. His longest outing this year, 8 innings against Seattle here, June 16th. .31 pitches this inning, and one batter, the first man Kuzmanov, who popped up on the first pitch of the inning, has made contact. Ball 3 with the pitcher, breaking ball.
I like that Jorge Sosa is adding some drama to this 6-0 game here in the bottom of the 7th.
Will he throw a strike? The outfielders are going to receive literature from the condo sellers here shortly.
I just saw a pigeon land on Justin Maxwell's shoulder.
3-2, the runners will be moving. And the pitcher swung at another ball that was not a strike. In play, short center, called by Pete Orr. Good job of calling off Gonzalez. A long scoreless inning. The Padres have left 9, but they lead 6-0.
Stop. Waiver. Yo es Miguelito Moore. Yo soy Habitación en Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Mi casa es su casa. De nada.
Rob and I went through 2 of our Rosetta Stone discs during that half inning. So we're right there with Mike. And it's the top of the 8th inning here at Petco Park in San Diego. It's all Padres 6-0 as they try to sweep the series. Nieves, Maxwell, and Padilla in the top of the 8th for the Nationals. Mike McDougall has had no closing work at all since last Thursday at Wrigley Field. So he'll be in for the bottom of the 8th. The Nats trying to get their first base runner since Ryan Zimmerman's clean single to right center back in the first. 19 straight for Kevin Correia. That's the pitch to lay off if you're a right-handed hitter with no power. There's a runner way inside, 2-0. And McDougall was getting lots of saves opportunities there for a while when the Nats were going so well. But those ops have slowed down again. A little work in St. Louis over the weekend just to get back out there. 3-0. Maxwell next and then Padilla. The pitcher spot due up 4th here in the 8th. Will originally drafted by San Diego. '47th round in '95. Let's just take 47 times 30.
1,200 and something.
It's over 1,400 players.
See? That was close.
It was a good guess. And then 14 years later, here he is in the big leagues. 12 years in the minors for Will. And the Nats have a base runner for the first time since the first inning. The Potomac Nationals are still holding on to their dangling playoff opportunity. They hope you can join the party tomorrow night at Fitzner Stadium in Woodbridge. Thursday, Cheers Ladies Night. All the gals get in for half price. Great prizes given away. You can learn more at 703-590-2311 or PotomacNationals.com. Maxwell jacks one left field line and caught by Headley. Justin has hit 3 lasers to the outfield today, and every one of them caught. 2 by Headley and 1 by the center fielder Macias. So he's getting some good swings. Padilla now. And behind him, Elijah Dukes walking to the on-deck circle. Jorge 0 for 2 today, 1 for 15 as a major league hitter. Nats called him up August 5th. International League All-Star this year when he hit 367 at Syracuse. I'm not sure he saw many slide pieces like that.
I was just going to say, they don't throw that many good sliders down there.
He had an on-base average of 424. Well, he was a base hit machine down there. Didn't hit for much power.
And you know what? If that's your game, come up here and continue that.
Right.
There's no reason why you can't come up here and just be a base hit machine too. You don't have to come up here and try to, crush a lot. Make your way around the league once. Get your feet wet. Start to learn some of the pitchers. Study. Learn from the veteran players.
Left-hander Joe Thatcher, righty Edward Mujica. That's a wild pitch. Short hopping the catcher way up in the air. And the Avis down to second base with 1 out.
When I first came up, I just felt like I had to be a sponge. Whether I was listening to the hitters on my team talk to me about what they're looking for when they go up to the plate, or other pitchers, veteran pitchers, and what they did to hone their skills and stay in the major leagues for decades. Jim Cott was one of my first pitching coaches. I think he played 25 seasons.
And as pitchers, the two of you couldn't be more different.
Exactly.
2 outs. Padilla gone. Strikeout number 5 for Correia, and Elijah Dukes will be the batter.
Big breaking ball right here. Try to kill it, and it's down instead of trying to make some contact. And it's very difficult, though, when you're not getting consistent gameplay and you're not getting the 4 or 5 at-bats on a daily basis from live pitchers.
Elijah Dukes,
Padilla, they're going to go up there and they're going to try to force the issue.
the only hitter on this club that has sustained his hitting most of this trip. He's 11 for 23. Had the grand slam in Chicago. 1 for 3 with a walk last night. 2 for 4 on Monday. So Elijah has the batting average back up to 250.
Well, that's good. He got his batting average back up to 250. I got my weight back up to 250 on this trip.
Up?
Yep.
Let's see what he was hitting when the road trip started. First game in Chicago, he was hitting 233. And a slider, takes it, ball 3.
And my wife's no help. I mean, she baked me a banana bread that I ate in one night. Okay, 2 nights.
1 sitting? Oh, okay, 2.
It was so good.
Everything okay near your home?
Yeah, where we live, it's been pretty calm.
LA area we're talking about.
Yeah, the LA area is just fires all around. Firemen trying to do the best they can. The humidity and the winds just push the fires everywhere.
Well, the way the team is rallying around their pitcher, looks like Correia is done, with Bud Black on his way to the mound. Maybe a little chat here to see if he's got anything left on a very warm afternoon. Started this inning with 82 pitches, so he's at or near, pardon me, at or over 100.
I think he may give him the choice here, or not.
Chris Tiller, the umpire, pays a visit and giving the manager that it's 6-0, let's go look, and he'll stay.
Well, remember, they're 20 games under 500 also. They're not going to the playoffs.
Next pitch will be 100.
So you love to hear from Correia that I want to stay out here. I can get this final out. I got it, bud.
Willie Harris, the batter, 0 for 3 and 0 for 7 in the series. There's a base hit.
That should put him out of the game.
Will Nieves coming around, and he will be held at third. And that still haven't scored. That was interesting because Venable assumed the run was scoring. He came up throwing the ball to second base. All right, that's it for the starter. He goes 7 2/3, his second longest outing of the year, and to this point, a shutout. All on Masson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Northrop Grumman, the information systems powerhouse. Beautiful San Diego Harbor. The Tony Gwynn Mr. Padre statue. Look at that stroke. Perfect balance. And Verizon Fios. Nats Extra postgame coming up with Johnny and Phil Wood. Yeah, it was peaks and valleys for John Lannon. The end came quickly with a 5-run fifth. They'll break it down. We'll hear from the manager, Garrett Mock and Sean West, Friday night at Nationals Park. West 6-5, 15 starts. Mock 3-6, 9 starts. Bases loaded, 2 outs. It's time for an intelligent at bat by Alberto Gonzalez, and he takes a fastball in there. This game is not out of reach if he gets aboard and gets Adam Dunn to the plate here. I'm sure they have Thatcher ready for Dunn. He's their only lefty, and now Alberto's taking 2 fastballs right down the middle. Might be the last strikes he sees. When you're going bad, that's what happens. You swing up and in, you take down the middle. Pitcher working off the windup, Mujica. He didn't mess around, did he? It looked like strike 3. And for some reason, Chris Tiller didn't end the inning.
Well, and maybe when Jim Riggleman was working him over in between that last half inning, maybe that bought a strike.
3 fastballs and another
Wow. Throws the bat out there, and it shatters as it's hit off the end of the bat. I just don't remember so many bats breaking when I played as easily as this. I mean, it's just like you just have to hit the bat with the ball and it explodes.
Nieves and Dukes walked. Harris the base hit.
Come on, right back up the middle. Shorten up your swing. Right back up the middle.
That ball really boring in on him. They've been jamming the heck out of Gonzalez to get him out for the last month. Mujica, 25 years of age. They got him from Cleveland. There's the pitch that gets Gonzalez out every time. The fastball up and in on the infield, grabbed by Eckstein, and the Nationals are frustrated again with Adam Dunn left in the on-deck circle. They've stranded 5 today and 3 of them on that swing. It's all Padres, 6-0. Geico highlights it's almost all home team. And Rob, that was a big swing opposite field by Adrian Gonzalez, a 2-0 lead.
Well, and a couple innings earlier, he struck Gonzalez out on the same pitch. That's why he's the 3-hole hitter and an all-star and one of the best hitters in the big leagues. And then
Chase Headley.
Chase Headley goes the other way. So if you don't hit your spots and keep the ball low against power guys, that's where you'll get destroyed. And you got to give the Padres a lot of credit. They have turned their season around, 20-14.
We thought the Nats had.
28th.
Up until a tough homestand, and now this shaping up as a 2-7 road trip when the Nationals won 2 of the first 3. Top of the order, Everth, Cabrera, Eckstein, and then Gonzalez. Cabrera 1 for 4 today. Oh, that spot. He had it. Cabrera 1 for 4 today. McDougal goes 2-0. And ball 3. Mike pitched in the 8th. Sunday in St. Louis with a scoreless inning and a double play ball. Actually came in after a leadoff walk by Sean Burnett. And he retired Ryan Ludwig and Albert Pujols at the tail end of a 2-1 loss. And the Nationals have now issued 8 walks today. 8. That's a lot of extra time for a manager to pace.
Well, and if you look at it this way, 3 walks and 1 hit through 4 innings for John Lannan and 1 run. No runs, excuse me. Then the bottom of the 5th happened, and now it's 6 runs on 7 hits, 5 walks.
And you could say that
those 9 outs,
those previous walks helped to recycle their offense to get their big boppers up for the 3rd time in the 5th inning when it was scoreless. They shouldn't be batting that often in a low-scoring game. McDougal with a strike to David Eckstein, who's come alive. He had that big 2-out hit after Cabrera scratched out a hit to keep the inning alive for that double we showed you by Adrian Gonzalez. And then he doubles a run home himself in the 6th. And Eckstein's 3 for 5.
Now, what did we talk about with Roberto Gonzalez about trying to hit the ball back up the middle? This guy throws 95 miles an hour.
And he should watch David Eckstein videotape.
His last at bat, shacks a double on a bad breaking ball right here. Gets a pitch, doesn't try to do too much, hit down on the ball, and it's right back up the middle. And he's got another hit.
That guy could play second base for me anywhere. I remember when he came to the National League. Some of the fans in St. Louis had no idea who he was, even though he'd been on a world championship team. He'd been overshadowed. And working network games in both leagues, I hadn't had a chance to see David. And I told people, by the end of April, you will love this guy.
Yes.
And they did. And then a couple of years later, he's a World Series MVP. He's a winner. And he's the kind of guy that holds a ball club together. And I think it's been very prudent and wise of the Padres to bring him in here. And now they've signed him to an extension.
Well, and when you say, you know, a guy that's got maybe half the skills of an Adrian Gonzalez is working twice as hard as an Adrian Gonzalez, that motivates Adrian to go out there and work harder.
Yeah.
So that's what David Eckstein brings to the table. He just works and works and works, and he motivates everybody else around him.
And he'll surprise you every once in a while and muscle up and hit one out. Not often.
And I'll tell you, give Alfredo Griffin a lot of credit, because they had him penciled in to play second in L.A. And Alfredo Griffin, one of the coaches with the Angels, fought for them to allow him to play shortstop and give him a chance to play short. And they did. And a lot of times he just barely reached first base. There's Kevin Towers, the GM of the Padres, who actually gave me a comeback chance in '98. After a couple of weeks, I had to retire again. But brought Eckstein in here, brought in some veteran guys. Already have moved some of those veteran guys right back out the door. Going a lot younger now.
Way outside 2-2.
The bottom line is you have to work every day in this game. Nothing is handed to you. It's a privilege to play, all that kind of stuff. But there's always going to be someone that's trying harder than you and trying to take your job away from you. And look at those Little Leaguers. Just won the Little League World Series, watching us take BP the other day. They want to play up here. They're dreaming about taking someone's job right now.
3-2.
There's a curly W and a DC on his head. The guy next to him got a curly W on his shirt.
Yep. Three-two, 2 on, nobody out. Bases loaded, nobody out. Guys who can throw the ball extremely hard and not throwing strikes. Sosa and McDougal. and this shouldn't be too pleasant with the manager visiting.
Well, he's just going to try to give McDougal a little bit of time here to regroup. Tell him, listen, you're still my closer. You're getting some work in. I know it's a 6-run blowout, but go to work on the hitter right here.
There's our base bunch. Cabrera walked to lead off the inning. Eckstein a base hit, and Gonzalez a walk. His 102nd pass of the year. Kuzminoff 0 for 2 with a pair of walks today. Broken bat, the ball up the middle. Pete Orr plays it well for a double play. A run scores. Pete Orr kept his wits about him, never panicked, and plays well up the middle for a 4-3 double play.
Kevin Kuzminoff is going to get a running 95-mile-an-hour fastball that just saws him off. Pete Orr takes it himself, throwing off the wrong leg, still throws a very nice strike over to Adam Dunn. So you give up the run, take the double play. Kuzminoff, no RBI on that play.
Chase Headley, the batter, 2 walks and an RBI double. A 2-run double. That doubled the Padres' lead from 2 to 4 back in the 5th inning. Good running fastball. It hits on the plate, thus the high hop. Quick hands by Orr. Inning over. So McDougal gives up a run. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Dunn, Zimmerman, and Orr down 7. Day off tomorrow and Friday. The Marlins are in. 7 o'clock on Masson HD. Come on down Half Street. Join Screech and the gang and take on those hard-hitting Florida Marlins. The Nats swept them at home last time, though, and Garrett Mock, 3-6 with a 5 ERA. He's been pitching better lately. And then for the Fish, Sean West, 6-5. He's won his last 2 starts. We'll get you going with Byron and Ray at 6:30 Friday night.
What, Johnny takes a holiday? Or it's football season?
It's the Terps gridiron is upon us.
It's that time.
Mujica still on the mound for the 9th. After getting Gonzalez, Adam Dunn leads off 1 for 3. An infield hit, 2 strikeouts, and a dandy changeup right there. The thing about all we can say at this time is we miss you guys and we want to come home. Please let us come home. Dunn gets under that one. High in the air, left center. Macias. One out in the ninth. The Nationals have now given up 673 runs this year, most in baseball. And the offense has stalled. They're stuck on 599 runs. Bob, Rob, and Byron from Petco Park in San Diego. The Nationals have scored 2 runs in 26 innings here. Zimmerman's ball will get out of play. Josh Bard with a homer last night after Dukes got picked off first. And an RBI flare by Pete Orr Monday night, the only run-producing swings in this 3-run set, or 3-game set. Padres will go over 500 at home by 2 games. Zimmerman jammed and he fouls it off his lower leg. In step. Kevin Kuzminoff, the fewest errors at third base in all of baseball. Now, nobody would tell you that he's more athletic or a better third baseman than Ryan Zimmerman. But, Rob, who cares about perception when a guy's made only 3 errors all year? To me, he would have to be the front runner.
That guy has had 100 more chances. He's also has 100 more assists.
That's a fair ball, and ironically, one third baseman's ground ball off the glove of the other, but
oh, that's E5.
they're going to give him a hit on that. You watch.
Of course they are. They're trying to get their guy a Gold Glove. As I said before, though, Zimmerman's had 100 more chances, has made almost 100 more assists at the position, and his power numbers far outweigh Kuzminoff, and that's the way they've been voting for many, many years.
Well, and I think next year, if Ryan Zimmerman throws the ball straight to first base all year, he'll win a Gold Glove hands down. That's the only thing that's kept him. He in glove errors, Ryan probably has what, 3 or 4 all year. He's a magician with the glove, and he's really improved his throwing. Pete Orr, 0 for 3. That was the Nationals' 4th hit of the day. In the entire series, the Padres have walked 8 Nationals. The Nationals have walked 16 Padres in these 3 games, and that's pretty amazing considering Levon walked 1 Monday night. And a 1-2 to Orr. 2 outs. Guy throws that fastball like he's a closer.
Yep. Well, a little extra oomph and life on that fastball right by Pete Orr.
Willie Avis, the Nats' final hope. Padres a strike away from a 3-game sweep and their 59th win of the year. In the air to center. The Nats arrived in town with quiet bats, and they will leave with the bats very quiet. 2 hours and 34 minutes to get shut out today. 7-0 by San Diego. More